Is Smackdown the worst wrestling show on the planet? We're here to talk about it because I've got a lot to say. Hey guys, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, episode number 61. And we're going to be breaking down Friday Night SmackDown from November the 7th of the year of our Lord, 2025. And boy, oh boy, do I want to get into it. I don't even really know where to go with this show. And compared to I guess I just want to make like more of a general statement before we just get into the show and all of the things I want to complain about, because there's one glaring thing I want to complain about, but there's a lot of other things in this show that I want to complain about. So the overall picture of WWE that I want to get into with you guys is Raw is such a better show than SmackDown. It's such a better booked show than SmackDown. The talent is better on Raw. The stories, there are no stories on SmackDown, but the stories are better on Raw. And it just seems like everything about SmackDown is rushed and it is just like just thrown together. It seems like the old days of when Vince booked things and it was just kind of like all over the place. Like everything about this show just screams like it has no cohesion. It doesn't listen to the fans. There are matches that are booked over and over and over and over and over again, feuds that never end, title holders that get just crapped all over, unlimited rematches, no direction for any of the champions, champions that frankly nobody likes because of either how they're booked or because of the way that they're presented. So I don't know. Am I wrong?
So, in an attempt to be a voice of reason here, I'm not going to hate on it quite as much as you, even though several of your points do have merit. I just don't think quite to the degree that you are saying. Um, I think SmackDown has a couple of problems right off the bat that we can say probably are the biggest cause of things. The first is the time slot, the timing of it in only being 2 hours and basically a hard 2 hours for SmackDown versus Raw, where Raw has room to play and tell their stories and do what they need to. It's part of why I think that, like I've said for a while now, SmackDown is the wrestling show, Raw is the story show, because they have the time to tell those stories. The other major issue is another point that I've said for a while, and originally I was saying it only about the women's division, but I think that as a whole, SmackDown's roster is the problem. I don't think that there's enough variety on the show. And to be completely honest with you, it's why we keep seeing rehashes of feuds. It's why we have champions people don't give a shit about. People who are holding a title literally just became a title holder, and I can't imagine people want them to hold that title for very long, especially after the promo they had on last night. But I think the only way to salvage something like that is they need to get rid of the brand split. And I don't know that they'll do that because that requires getting rid of a title. You know what I mean?
I don't necessarily think you need to get rid of a title. It's fine to have two titles on each one of the shows. It's fine to have two women's titles. It's fine to have two men's titles. They do need to get rid of one of the sets of tag titles. I will agree with you on that. I think that when they combined those tag titles, that was smart, and they should not have broken them apart. I will completely agree with you on that.
I mean,
One
I
set,
get why they did.
one set for the women, one set for the men. And the sets should appear on all three shows.
So, would you say you would take away the NXT tag titles too,
Yep. Yes, I
and
would.
you would just run it like how they run the women's tag
Yeah, that's
titles?
a great way to get talent up to the main roster for both.
I mean, I think that they could do. I think honestly, I think all titles should be defendable across all shows, but I think that would make for an interesting thing, especially if you want to treat NXT like a third brand. But NXT is an outlier because that's one of those shows that sometimes they want to treat it like a third brand, sometimes they want to treat it like developmental. You know what I mean? It's like
Well, maybe, but that's
they
how
can't
you
make up their
introduce
mind.
new stars, though. Like you want to
Oh, you're
build
right.
and introduce, you want to build and introduce new stars and not have the same feuds over and over and over again. Like, I'm sorry, but you know what I'm absolutely sick of? Aleister Black and Damian Priest. Sick of it. They
Yeah,
had like 4 matches. I don't need to see that anymore. Now there's probably going to be another one.
this has been going on since before SummerSlam.
I don't need to see it anymore. I don't. I really, really don't.
Like
And
I
I get
said,
it. I get not having Cody win that match clean, but we're just going back to the Cody Drew McIntyre. Well,
yeah,
we've had 2 matches already. Cody's won clean both times. We don't need another match.
I mean,
You're gonna
technically you
have
haven't won
Drew
three.
you're gonna have Drew lose again because that's what's gonna happen. Drew's not gonna beat him. I'm sorry, internet. I know how much you internet people hate Cody Rhodes, but Drew's not gonna beat him.
No,
He's like, it's not gonna happen. Drew is not gonna beat him. So I don't know. The only saving grace for me of this entire show is the United States Open Challenge.
oh,
That the only thing about SmackDown that is worth watching is the only thing I look forward to every week about SmackDown. And to be honest with you and our audience, after Ilia's match, I shut the show off and went to bed. And I watched the rest of it in the morning so I could fast forward through it. Because so much of it, and I know, yes, we do a wrestling YouTube channel here, but like so much of it is just crap. I'm sorry, but how many times in 2021, 22, and 23 did I watch Nia Jax face Charlotte Flair? 5,000 times. Did we really need to see that again? Do we really need another program with Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss? Are we going to get that again too? Like with both of them, I don't like it. Great, you're pairing Nia up with Flash Legend, fine. But like, are we going to do that too?
I
And
mean,
don't even and I haven't even gotten into the biggest travesty on this whole show, which I will in a moment. But you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
I get what they're doing with the Nia and Lash thing because they're using it to bring Lash up to the main roster. And it makes sense to use it for the tag titles storyline there. But like I said, the issue is for SmackDown is they just don't have a diverse enough roster that it's to properly run the show. So last night while I was watching SmackDown, I re-downloaded WWE 2K25 and I put the correct roster on there just to look at what type of feuds there could be and what type of matches there are. And honestly, there aren't a super ton of exciting ones that don't lead into what we're seeing in real life, like with the repetition and all that. And that's just because of the way that they have the WWE roster split up. And I think that that is what needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's so many other things that we could be doing here, and it just we don't do it. But I don't know. Let's break down the show. So Cody obviously came out to start to kick off the show, and it is great to see Cody, and I wish we were doing something more with Cody. And Cody's just title run is just starting to seem a bit stale to me because it's the same things over and over again with Cody. Like, just
Yep.
get the damn Randy Orton thing done and over with already. At
Yep.
this point, like we need to get Cody on to some other people. We
See,
really do. Because that just seems like that's where we're going with it. It seems like it's so obvious that's where we're going with it. That's why, like, I don't feel like Cody's title run has lost all of its mystery and all of its mystique to me because I don't really feel like anybody who challenges Cody is going to beat him until Randy Orton. Which I mean, I like Cody as the champion. I don't want to mistake it. I've said for a while now, Cody is one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE. The problem is his feuds and his matches and his challengings. While his matches are great, his feuds don't like they're not interesting to me because I know he's going to win.
right.
Like the idea of Cody losing while I wouldn't want him to lose, would make it interesting to me. And Drew's not going to beat him. Aleister Black's not going to beat him. Jacob's not going to beat him. Damian Priest is not going to beat him. The only person on the roster who's going to beat him maybe is Randy Orton, who's on SmackDown. That's it.
So that's the problem, is that WWE has sort of booked themselves into a spinning of the wheels, like storytelling dead end with all of this. And I mean, it doesn't help when you have planned feuds or planned matches get derailed due to injury, like Jacob Fatu, or whatever. Now that Sami Zayn has apparently been hurt for the last couple weeks, things like that. Injuries obviously are causing problems, but when you are have been building towards the expected heel turn of Randy Orton, like you just said, everybody knows and is expecting that to be coming. And because of it, it's taken away any sense of like, why do I have to care about this match? Because, like you just said, Cody is not going to lose to randomly to Drew McIntyre or Aleister Black on an episode of SmackDown, because we know that WWE has been building towards this Randy Orton Cody Rhodes blow up. And WWE probably shouldn't have started to tease that as early as they did if they didn't plan on pulling the trigger on it at some point sooner than they probably are going to.
Which I don't even understand like what we're waiting for at this point because like Randy Orton's not injured. He's just
No,
not been on TV. So like I don't really know like what the plan is here. And if like we're trying to like wait all the way until WrestleMania, like I don't know. I think that's waiting. I think that's like waiting too long. Like I think the turn needs to happen. So I think frankly the turn needs to happen, and I think Cody needs to lose the belt when the turn happens.
yeah,
And
and
it doesn't even
honestly,
necessarily need that doesn't even necessarily need to be to Randy. I think Cody could lose the belt to somebody else, and that's how you get the belt on somebody else with the Randy turn. Then Cody and Randy can go off and have their match, and you can keep Cody away from the belt for a little while. You can win it back again at SummerSlam or something like that, because I'm sure he will. But
honestly, they have the perfect out for turning Randy heel in the Who Attacked Jacob Fatu
yep,
mystery. Like,
yep.
it's the perfect trigger to pull here. And if they're smart, they do it. And I 100% agree with you. You put the title onto, I mean, I don't, who knows what the hell they're going to do with this storyline now with Drew and what's going on there. But I'd be fine. You have Randy cost Cody the title, and they feud for a couple months without the title. They don't need it. That's a feud that does not need to have gold involved. And then you can have Drew or whomever have actual original feuds where there might be a chance of them losing it. And honestly, if I'm WWE, maybe I don't put it on Drew, because maybe I put it on somebody and have them drop it after a month. And we go through a period where we have 4 or 5 champions
Mhm.
because they're playing hot potato with it. And you know what? It's been a long time since we've had something like that. And I'd be okay with it. Lately, for the last several years, all we've had are champions who have held the belt for a while.
Cena held the belt for like 3 months, 4 months,
Yeah.
and Cody held the belt now for basically like a year and a half. And then before that, it was Roman for 4 years. So
Yeah.
over the last 6 years, basically, we've had three champions.
Yeah.
Two and a
Give
half.
me
So we've had 2.5 champions over the last six years of that title. I like we need to get you want to build people up. You need to give more people runs with the title.
yes.
A couple pay-per-view cycles, and then they drop it. You
Yeah,
don't need
you
to do
don't
that. You don't need to do that forever, but you need to do it for a little while.
yeah, after how long of a run Roman had, and then even after that, like I was fine with Cena's run because they botched it so badly. I have a feeling he probably would have held that title longer had that not been such a botched run. But give me a year of that title bouncing around amongst people and seeing who can succeed the most with it.
Yeah,
Honestly, you want to talk about, can Sami Zayn carry the title? Okay,
yeah.
give it to him. Give Sami
Perfect
Zayn the
person to
title
put it
for a
on.
month.
Yep.
See
Yeah.
if see how he does.
give Sami Zayn the title. Hell, have him and Cody have a match and have Randy cost Cody during that match and have Sami win. And then have Sami be the champion and then, he can be Mr. Good Guy. He can give Cody his rematch and Randy can cost him again. And then Cody can go off and do his thing. And then Randy can feud with Drew, with Damian Priest, with Aleister Black, with all these guys, right? Then you could get it on to Gunther eventually, maybe. Like all these different guys can run with that title for a little bit. Aleister Black can get that. I heard and I know they're high on him.
Yep.
All these different guys can get an opportunity to run with that world title.
Yep.
So I don't know. I know, and I know I sound like a broken record and I'm way off the rails here. But like it's so aggravating because like SmackDown for years was the better show. And it's crap now. It's like it's such a slog to watch. Like I said, I don't I'm so glad the US Open Challenge opens the show pretty much every week as the first match because like I literally shut it off after that. And then I fast forward through it the next day. Because I'm like, oh, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. Oh, how did the main event end? Oh, shocking. It's the same people again. You
That's
know?
that's the thing though, is prior to the US Open Challenge, SmackDown had another must-watch thing every week, which was their tag division. What the hell happened to that? I mean,
Where are the
why are
tag
we
team
not
matches?
why are we not having not just the US Open Challenge, but why are we not having a barn burner tag team match every week? Like we know SmackDown can do because for like the months of July and August, they did it every week.
Yeah.
Like you do that, I mean, that's an hour and 20 minutes worth of your show, right, with fantastic matches. And like I said, with at this point, SmackDown being the wrestling show, that's what I'm watching it for.
Yeah. So let's get into it. So Ilia Dragunov defeated Johnny Gargano, and it seems like we're obviously building eventually to a match with him and Ciampa. As he kind of keeps ducking Ciampa and giving opportunities to other people. But this was great. Obviously, how could it have not have been an excellent match? Because these two guys are both excellent.
Yep.
And this match was friggin' amazing. And they gave it time to breathe. And, there's a little bit of goofy interference from Candice LeRae here, but like it was a fantastic match. And of course, Ilya retained, but so good. Like, I'm glad they gave this time to breathe, and I enjoyed the crap out of this match. And why wouldn't you? It was absolutely fantastic.
Honestly, every single match out of the US Open Challenge, regardless of who's been champion, has been fantastic. And that's going to continue even when we get Dragunov and Ciampa, because that match is going to be amazing too.
Oh,
Like
yeah, absolutely.
WWE has on SmackDown the perfect people to partake in this like mid card thing every week. And just imagine if that was open to more than just the SmackDown people. If we were
Yeah,
able to do this across the company.
get some NXT people in there. Get Trick Williams up there. Have Trick Williams be the one to beat Ilya,
Yeah.
and then have
Have
him run matches with all these guys.
have Oba Femi debut and do it.
Yep. Yeah,
Like, I
absolutely.
mean,
So
hell,
so many different things you could do. So many different things you could do, but it's been such a breath of fresh air for this show, and this show desperately needs this.
that that's going to be the problem though, is eventually they're going to run out of people to come out and challenge. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's just another thing to prove my point of the issue being the roster itself, not the wrestlers, but the overall roster.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then, as we mentioned, we had Nia Jax defeating Charlotte Flair with the help of a call up of Lash Legend, which cool. I hope that they run with her and pair her with Nia. And this is not as bad as I made it out to be. And obviously they are still furthering because there was a backstage segment where Asuka misted the Charlotte and Alexa a little bit later on in the show. So it does seem like Asuka and Kyrie are probably going to be the ones to take the titles eventually. But I'm fine with them introducing another women's tag team. And if anything, if you just keep Nia away from the damn world title, like I'm
Yep.
fine with it, right? Like, um, but this was fine. I mean, with the last debuting, we did get Nia picking up the win. And then as Charlotte was coming down to the ramp, this was right after Jade came out and cut a 2-second promo where she said, "I'm that bitch." And that was basically it. And
It was terrible.
her and Charlotte like looked at each other. So like maybe that's a match like someday. I don't know. Like people want to call that a dream match. I don't really give a crap.
I
But yeah, so I know you probably have a lot to say about the Jade situation. So go ahead.
Well, first off, in regards to that stare down, I have never seen a less intimidating stare down in like the history of wrestling. And that the promo itself, I mean, Jade took 10 minutes to walk down to the ring just to say, oh, I'm that bitch and walk out. Like, I'm sorry, Jade. You are playing this tough character, but I get it. The heel thing is easier for you to play, but I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. Like, I have zero interest in her having a run as the champion. And yeah, I will admit I was getting kind of tired of Tiffany as champion. But Jade has no charisma to me. Her in-ring work is shoddy at best. And if this is what we're gonna get, our 10-minute walks to the ring, her giving a two-line promo and then having a stare down with someone, count me out. Like, I have zero interest in that at all. And then they announced that next week we get, oh man, Jade Cargill versus BFAB. Like, I'm
It's
sure
gonna be a squash. It'll be a
I'm sure
squash.
that's top of your list for must-watch TV. But like, I'm
It's gonna be
sorry,
yeah, right on my fast forward button next week.
I'm just gonna leave the room. I don't even care. Like, it. I don't know. I'm just disgusted by that whole thing. I think WWE's insistence on making Jade Cargill something is in their no doubt it's the build to the her and Bianca, which is a quote another of the dream matches. But I'm sorry, that's not a dream match for me. Like I'm not I normally wouldn't cheer for Bianca, but go Bianca.
Yeah. So speaking of things I'm disgusted about, this is the one that I am the most disgusted about. And I am not disgusted about the person that won. I want to stress that. But I am talking about Chelsea Green defeating Giulia for the United States Championship. I am fine with Chelsea Green. I like Chelsea Green. I like her character. I think she's funny. And I have no problem with her being the Women's United States Champion. The problem I have is with how Giulia has been booked. I think that is one of the biggest travesties that they have committed to any character they have brought onto the main roster. If you were going to have her feud with Michin and BFAB, just keep her on NXT. Keep her on NXT. If you had nothing to do with her, keep her on NXT. Or better yet, let her go to AEW. Like
I don't want that.
seriously, I do. I can't like it. I feel
Why?
so
So she can be buried by Mercedes Monet? Like
whatever, dude. I feel so
I
bad. I feel so bad for her, dude. She gets crapped on week after week after week. Like what are we? What are they? What? Why would she even want to be there? Like it's so embarrassing. It's
so
so bottom tier talent wrestling one of the best female wrestlers in the world. And you've got garbage talent. Like, sorry, BFAB, sorry, Michin. You're fine, but you're jobbers. And you've got just like these nobodies who are wrestling one of the best women in the world. And you're not giving her any opportunity to go up against the best. Move her over to Raw.
that's what needs to be done. She should not be on SmackDown. And to be honest with you, I didn't even realize this was a U.S. title match until after Chelsea won. I thought this was just a normal match. And then when Chelsea won and ran away with the title, it surprised the hell out of me. But all I can think is that they're either going to move her to Raw or they're going to have her drop Kiana James into a character refresh as like a face or something because whatever this whole thing that they've had to do because of their once again serious lack of depth in the women's locker room is what destroyed her this whole run. She should have had a dominant Asuka type run. where she was coming out, beating the hell out of people, and just winning. I get why they teamed Kiana with her because she's another one that isn't the greatest English speaker, but they just all I can hope is that her dropping the title was done in with the plan of moving her to Raw or doing something to fix the character.
I hope so because it's just friggin' embarrassing. And honestly, I feel so bad for her. She's one of my favorite. She's been one of my favorites since she debuted. I watched her when she was in Japan, and I thought she was awesome. And I'm so just disgusted with how her main roster run because she was presented like a megastar in NXT,
Yep.
and she's a friggin' joke on SmackDown. Like
Um,
the crowd doesn't give a shit at all with her. And why should they? Why
so
should they?
can I make a comparison too? Because there's a man who was on this same show who I think is suffering from the same problem as
Oh,
uh,
was it
Julia.
the very next match?
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's a man on Raw who is suffering from the very same problem as Julia, and I think it is just as much of a travesty as what you were saying because he is one of the greatest wrestlers on the planet, and instead of being used to show that, he's being used to further other people's feuds.
And we're
And
talking about Ray Phoenix,
yep, that's exactly who I'm talking about. Ray Phoenix. And
who lost to Talatanga for no reason. No
except
reason.
to further another person's feud, to further Sami Zayn's feud with the MFTs. And why does it need to be Ray Phoenix in this spot? Like, I really do not understand what the SmackDown writers room is doing with, like, I get it. You need people to be in these spots, but this has been a problem ever since they put Ray Phoenix into that Money at the Bank qualifier when he lost to, I don't remember who it was, Solo and somebody else. And it was it Andrade, Phoenix, and Solo, I think? And you have Solo randomly win that match? Like, I get you needed people to fill the match, but ever since then, it felt like he's just been being put in these spots when they need somebody to lose. And the only time that he was out of that cycle was when he was in that successful tag team with Andrade. Like, I do not understand what the SmackDown writers room is doing.
I just I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know.
Like, I know Road Dogg is Brian James is now the guy in charge of SmackDown's writers room, but they need to figure out something quick. Either Triple H needs to take over that writers room or something because they are going to lose control of Friday nights and they won't be able to get it back.
Yeah. Which obviously then, led us to the main event, which was set up earlier in the show, as we mentioned, between Cody Rhodes and Aleister Black, which ended in a no contest because, Drew McIntyre came out again and attacked Cody Rhodes again, then to which he was moderately foiled by Damian Priest. And the feud between Damian Priest and Aleister Black is apparently never ending. And the feud between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre is apparently never ending. So, yeah, that was SmackDown. And it was a mess. It was a friggin' mess. They did announce that there were going to be more matches for the John Cena tournament. We are going to get the Miz. Who's the Miz going to face? Not LA Knight.
Jay,
LA Knight.
Jay
Yeah,
Uso.
Miz is facing Jade. LA Knight is facing a mystery person.
Who do you think?
It's
I think Joe
probably
Hendry,
yeah, it's probably Joe Hendry or maybe Jeff
Zack
Hardy.
Ryder, or maybe Zack Ryder would be cool.
Yeah.
Um, I will say though the the I'm putting my balls in your hand line from R-Truth was pretty entertaining,
That was
but
that was
we
pretty fun. I feel
we
like
can at least get that.
he does have to be in this tournament, but he probably will. I mean, he obviously will lose, but I feel like he probably needs to be in this tournament.
It makes sense. I mean, but do you put him in it at the expense of anyone else. You know what I mean?
No, you have him go up against like Gunther.
Yeah, and just be a quick, well, first round knockout.
Yeah, Gunther just destroys him.
I'd be okay with that.
That's how you do it. So yeah, so that was SmackDown. So I don't know. I don't really have much more to say, but what is your final rating for the show? And I'm sorry, guys, that this one in particular was so negative. I think once we start the John Cena tournament, I'm hoping the show gets a little bit better. But yeah, what's your final thoughts on the show?
I give it a 2, and that's only because of the U.S. Open Challenge. If we didn't have the weekly master class that is the challenge, this show would have been like a 1, maybe a point 0.5.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, and I think my final rating for the show is just a repeated feuds out of five. And yeah, that's just really it. And like I said, guys, I'm really sorry that this particular one has been just kind of aggressively negative, but it needs to be said. The show, like,
Yeah,
I love wrestling, and it needs to be better. It needs to get better. And people are going to shut it off if it continues to be the same matches every single week, no stories, just pointless things that don't go anywhere, and people's favorite wrestlers getting buried just over and over and over again. And to, just be better. Be better. It's not hard to book a wrestling show. There's so many people who would do a great job booking a wrestling show. So do better. It's really like the in-ring work is there because the
yep.
in-ring work is great. The storytelling sucks. So be better. So anyway, so this is our show, guys. Thank you so much as always for joining us. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. And we'll talk soon after Monday Night Raw this coming week. So have yourselves a fantastic evening and take care.